Hello everyone, we are going to practice today Vashisthasana, see variations of it and also learn how to start practicing this without causing any undue pressure on the wrist or on your lower back. In English we call Vashisthasana plank positions. So, a variation of plank positions so that we can build on midsection strength, front of the core, back of the core as well as wrist. This becomes our foundational practice for things to come like Chaturanga Dandasana or Bakasana. Wherever my wrist strength is required, plank will be my go-to starting movement. And if I want to stabilize my body, my midsection, if I want to prevent lower back pain from happening, then plank is another very useful tool in our arsenal. So, let us see how we can get into a practice just involving planks. Now, before you get into a series of practice, say like we are going to do with planks, or you are practicing push-ups or anything that involves wrist for more than 2 to 3 minutes, it is good to warm up the wrist. So, one very good way to warm up is you are sitting in Vajrasana, keep your palms ahead of you and pressurize the wrist. So, this section of the body gets stretched, this part of the wrist gets stretched, and that is a useful and one of the most potent ways to get your wrist activated before any form of exercise. That is one, you hold it for 20 seconds, maybe you can hold it for twice or thrice in terms of sets. So, total a minute long you can hold in multiples of 20, and then just the reverse of it, where you are pressing the knuckles and letting your wrist stretch throughout. So, you do it one hand at a time, again 10-20 seconds, 3 sets if you do, then you have your wrist absolutely ready and warmed up for any form of exercise that utilizes them. If you work long hours on your laptop, then again rotating the wrist along with these two movements is good way to start your keep them mobile and utilized. Now, let us get on with plank. If you are here, get into a plank position with your knees up, hip muscles tight, abdomen contracted. Now, if you look, it is a simple position, nothing extraordinary about it. The moment you start holding it for say 20, 30, 40 seconds, your whole midsection gets activated, your front of the core, back of the core, everything gets activated, and you will find that you are shaking from the center of the body. So, that comes because the whole of this section, all the muscles right from the top of the abdomen up to the lower abdomen and around this region where your waist and your lower back muscles are there, everything gets utilized. Now, what are the common mistakes we can do while practicing plank? See, here what happens, if I want to put less load on the wrist, we get into a position which is incorrect, where my shoulder is away from the wrist. So, there is an angle when I am practicing. So, if this is happening for you, then you know straight away this is not a right position. So, first thing to check will be that your wrist and shoulder come in line, important. Now, about the palm, some of us curl the fingers like this, where the palm becomes hollow, there is no contact between the palm and the mat. So, make sure that all your 5 fingers are relaxed, spread out, so that you can cover the maximum surface area with your palm. This is a very small instruction, will not come in handy straight away. You may not find it valuable right now, but if you go and do say handstand or pinch mayurasana, then this position of the palm where your fingers are spread out will come in handy. So, this because their surface area will matter. So, get into a habit straight away. Now, this is your plank position with your wrist and shoulder in line. Now, look at my back. If you are lifting your back, then you will not have any impact on the abdominal muscles, because your tailbone is ensuring that the lower back muscles and the midsection of the body is not utilized. It's the skeletal structure of the body that is bearing the weight, and whole pressure comes on the wrist and you are being balanced by your fingers or your toes. So it is important that this height that I provide should not be there. I will make sure that my body is straight. Now another way is where I lower the back. I do not feel I have enough strength to hold up, so I just slack. When you slack, you are allowing yourself to be hit by lower back pain as you do plank. So when you are involved in plank position, neither holding up nor slacking is of any use, but while slacking will actually harm you, it will induce lower back. So make sure that body is straight, as straight as possible. Now how do you ensure that your lower back is held tightly and you don't encounter lower back pain? If you contract the hip muscles, then you will find that your lower back gets support, because the muscles of your glutes can merge with the lower back muscles, and that is how you provide support to your lower back muscles. And the abdominal muscles, if you contract them, then you provide yourself much required stability. So I will repeat once again, your wrist and shoulder in line, hip should not go up, should not come down. You try to maintain a straight position and you are looking up so that your whole spine is straight. Sometimes we do not want to keep the chin down, but chin slightly folded in so that the neck is also in line with the spine. So if not totally up, slightly down, your eyes turn down as well, but not tucked in either. So this is the position. This is straightforward plank position. You can start with practicing it for 10-20 seconds, go up to a minute or more. If you are doing a minute of plank without a break, that is a good improvement over 10 seconds that you will start with. Even if your body shakes a little, you give a break and then do again. So you can set a timer for a minute, start practicing. Initially you may break for 3 times, and then as you build on strength, the break requirement will go down and you will be able to straight hold for a minute after you have gained enough strength. Now once you are doing a minute long of plank easily, you can add variations, or you can go and increase the difficulty level of the plank by stretching your arms out like this. So instead of 4 limbs supporting you like this, now you have 3 limbs supporting you, where you are stretching your arm forward as well. So the moment you have 3 limbs involved, more pressure comes on one of the wrist. This is what works on bone density. We do talk about bone density a lot. The reason why yoga is very useful to handle bone density is because we can add body weight complexities to poses. So the moment you go from here to here, you are adding extra pressure to the wrist, and that helps you speed up the process of gaining some more bone mass, that is your bone density. So that is one way to add variations, where you are going up 10 seconds, up 10 seconds. Similarly, you could again go with your right leg up, hold for a count of 10, and then left leg up, hold for a count of 10. These are 2 variations where either one hand is going up or one leg is going up, and you are, instead of your 4 limbs, you are on your 3 limbs. Now let us turn sideways a little. Here, when you are doing side plank, look at my shoulder and wrist, they are in line again. Now there is a tendency to get the body back like this. So straighten the back so that your hip muscles, your heel and your shoulder, they fall in line. Next question comes, what to do with the feet? See, you can keep your feet one after the other like this. If you find it okay, you can keep it on top as well. So this is the perfect way to do a side plank with your chin going up for a while. You can keep your arm up as well, and that will finish the pose. Now plank, if you are unable to do side plank, what you do, you keep your knee down extend your leg and practice turning the body, aligning your heel, hip and shoulders. So, this is another variation for beginners. If you cannot lift your full leg up, drop a knee and practice. This will help you practice your side plank as well. Another way, let us look. We can take the tailbone up, bring your right knee to the right upper arm and hold. If you do this, you will be pulling up your tailbone and it prepares your wrist more than any other variation that we have just learned. So, here you have an option of curling up the body and bringing your knee forward. So, right leg 10 seconds, again left leg 10 seconds. You can add dynamic movement to it by going right leg to the left wrist, then holding it to the right wrist, going to the forearm, elbow, elbow and back. So, this is a dynamic movement that utilizes your core more than whatever we have done so far. So, I will just do the whole sequence for you. You can hold in plank. Once you are comfortable, add a variation by taking an arm out each one at a time, then go one leg up at a time, go side plank where you are going one hand again, you are looking up, holding the body straight. Once you are done with this, you can bring your knee up to the upper arm, pause, then you can go across. So, right knee goes to the left arm, pause and back, and then you can do a dynamic movement where you go wrist, wrist, elbow, elbow, upper arm and back. So, that is a 6-point touch. So, if you do this, it will take you around 3 minutes to 4 minutes, and that quite a bit of exercise for your abdomen. Now, if you turn sideways, there are other variations that you can practice. So, you are here for example, from here you can add more load. Now, instead of being on the 3 limbs that we have been so far, we are on 2 limbs where you are holding the body straight. Alright, now you can hold the toe and pull, another variation. So, these are some of the variations that you can add to your plank position to make it more and more difficult. So, this is a graded plank tutorial. Try and practice, try and add plank to your daily life. It will help you fight lower back. Before it develops, you can actually prevent lower back, and the amount of pressure you give to your wrist prepares you for the more difficult positions that will follow. Now, another what should I say, direct benefit of plank is those who suffer from constipation, their bowel movements are not strong enough. Plank helps you to build upon your bowel movements. You may be eating fiber rich food and you may be eating your dinner in time, etc. But if the bowel movements, the muscular strength is not there in your intestine, then that also gets hampered, that results into constipation. So, plank can help you fight constipation also when other things are on point and muscular strength is important. This becomes important as we age. So, another very good reason why you should practice plank. Thank you so much. We will see you in the next video.